Next, we step into the Dell's most breathtaking spaces. The restoration of these grand rooms revealed stunning secrets hidden for decades. Iconic and elegant, and they are masterpieces of craftsmanship. Now fully restored and complete with historic elements that had long been missing. The Dell's largest Victorian rooms have captivated guests since the hotel first opened its doors in February 1888. The Crown Room, a masterpiece of Victorian architecture and originally the main dining hall, features a breathtaking vaulted wooden ceiling designed by the Dell's architect, James Reed.
The Crown Room was really an architectural marvel when the hotel opened in 1888. The large expanse of the room without supporting beams, and a beautiful example of the Victorian architecture is exhibited in that room still today.
The magnificent Crown Room, spanning 160 by 60 feet with a 33-foot ceiling and floor-to-ceiling windows, showcases Gilded Age ingenuity. During the 2024 restoration, the entire space was renewed. Hidden for decades behind wood paneling, the original main hall door windows and curved transoms near the main entrance were discovered and restored.
It's just a lot of cleaning, removing mismatched stain, and replacing damaged or missing wood. And it's going to get this room looking even closer to the original than it has been in many years.
Historic images revealed two grand fireplaces in the Crown Room that showcase Victorian elegance. They were later removed due to fire safety concerns. The central balcony, which once hosted the hotel's orchestra, has been thoughtfully restored.
And then the ceiling is pretty much the way it looked opening day. It has changed very little. Light fixtures have been upgraded a couple times over the years, but these ones are still very old.
The iconic chandeliers in the Crown Room have a magical past. Originally created in 1909 by frequent guest L. Frank Baum, author of The Wizard of Oz. Of the 5 original chandeliers, only one survived. It was moved years ago to the power plant in Wagers Row, part of the industrial buildings that helped build the Victorian Hotel in 1887. Back in the Crown Room, the 1929 replica chandeliers were also beautifully restored.
If we took someone from 1888 that had a meal here and we took them back, they would know exactly where they were because it's 90% the way it looked when the building first opened.
It's been well preserved.
We're going to get it back to 98%.
Scaffolding surrounded the Crown Room as crews restored its intricate gingerbread wood siding. The floor-to-ceiling windows were altered in 1935 and fully restored in 2024, bringing back their original elegance. The Crown Room remains much as it did in 1888, having welcomed countless notable guests over the years, from the Prince of Wales in 1920 to Charles Lindbergh in 1927, with earlier visitors including Thomas Edison and President Benjamin Harrison. Now fully restored, its historic charm is preserved for the next century. The Coronet Room reflects Victorian tradition, originally serving as the hotel's breakfast room. Historic photos highlight its intricate period details. Tucked next to the Crown Room, this scaled-down version is a true hidden gem, with exquisite original woodwork.
The reason I wanted to show you this area is it shows a partially preserved original, what we call the wainscoting on the wall, which was this made up of these square coffers. You can see where the stain marks are here. And that was what all of the lower walls in the original Coronet Room were finished by. And then it wrapped all the way around.
During restoration, original woodwork hidden beneath modern updates was discovered. From finely carved trim to ornate details, these discoveries revealed the craftsmanship of 1888 and guided the room's faithful revival.
Coronet Room was expanded at one point, and so to take photos, original photos of the room in 1888 until it was expanded around 1930, those came in handy to look at that, and so we could have a reference as to what the room originally looked like.
The Coronet Room has been beautifully restored to its original 1888 design, preserving the Dell's history for the future. The Ocean Ballroom is another architectural marvel at the Dell, revealing multiple hidden treasures during its revitalization. A stunning fresco, a large covered window and wall, and the main turret tucked away in the attic make this space a truly unforgettable gem. The majestic Ocean Ballroom, with nearly 13,000 square feet, once hosted Saturday night dances and plays in the early years, once among the largest resort convention spaces west of Chicago. Directly beneath the hotel's iconic red turret, the original Ocean Ballroom features a soaring ceiling approximately 60 feet high. In the 1960s, the ceiling was lowered to 30 feet, concealing the original turret craftsmanship.
The ballroom originally had an open ceiling, so it opened up inside the main turret. The dormer windows that you see on the outside of the turret allow natural light into the room. So originally it was beautiful woodwork. You could look all the way up inside, up to the bottom of the flag tower.
Historic photos reveal the ballroom's intricate woodwork on the second floor, with a surrounding promenade on the third floor. During the 2024 renovation, the ballroom revealed long-lost secrets.
I looked up, you could just see a tiny corner of it exposed, and it was covered with a cloth that had been glued to it. And we started peeling it back a little bit, and I said, keep going, until we completely removed the cloth, and it exposed this amazing, beautiful, hand-painted fresco on the ceiling that we didn't know existed.
The stencil has an ombre appearance, and it's meant to look like the undulation of silk. They used different amounts of medium in the paint to have different effects of sheen so that it would create a dimensionality. It really is what we refer to as trompe-l'oeil, fool the eye. It is meant to look quite real.
Through decades of changes to the hotel, no one knew about the breathtaking 11 by 10 foot fresco. The vibrant circular motifs and colorful flowers were fully restored. It is the only surviving of its kind at the Dell, and one of Southern California's oldest frescoes.
So this ceiling, by all intents and purposes, should not have been there. And it really is, when I say it's a treasure and it's rare, I mean that in every way, because it's like finding gold.
Another remarkable long hidden gem, a large window and wall in the ballroom seen in this historic photo, invisible from the second floor, had been concealed for 6 decades. Thanks to a careful investigation, its details were rediscovered before they were lost forever.
And I was moving the photo and I realized some people were looking at me through the second level. Now we had a 3rd floor observatory, which certainly there would be people there, but not on the 2nd floor. We uncovered this amazing wall, which we had no idea existed.
During construction, work crews removed the paneling to reveal the wall and large window. It has been fully restored to its original 1888 state. The 3rd floor promenade, once a stunning observatory for guests, disappeared from public view when the ceiling was lowered. We were able to see the hidden gem during an event setup. There's a window to see what goes in the ballroom.
Yes.
So this is what it would have been like.
Exactly. We could be guests from 1888 looking down into the ballroom, watching a concert or a gala. This was called the observatory, or the promenade, and it was an area where guests could gather.
The promenade retains its original railing and woodwork, preserving its historic charm. 43 historic windows, once painted black for decades, have also been restored to their original state. The area also features the Dell's original film projector, a piece of history when movies were once shown in the ballroom in the early years.
And it was a guest area where they could come and look into the ballroom and any activities that were there, but they could also turn around and look at the wonderful view out the window. For many, many years, after 1961, when the roof was lowered and this was no longer served that purpose, the windows were painted black. So this was always just a dark hallway.
From the exterior, the turret windows were carefully repaired and restored, requiring extensive scaffolding to safely access the delicate upper levels. Craftsmen worked at great heights to ensure that the wood sidings also matched the original 1888 design. Above the Ocean Ballroom, the Dell's iconic turret rises above the third floor, accessible by a hidden staircase that reveals the intricate ingenuity of Victorian architecture. It isn't open to the public. So we're going up the stairs in the turret. This is one of my favorite parts of the hotel.
Yeah, we're on the 5th floor going up above the ballroom, and we're basically in the attic space right now, which takes us all the way up to the crow's nest.
The largest of the Dell's 4 Victorian turrets is about 120 feet tall, and it offers sweeping views visible from land and sea. From the turret, you can also see how the property has been beautifully restored and reimagined. The views are simply magnificent. We now head to a second turret for a rare behind-the-scenes glimpse. This is a bit of a climb, but definitely worth it.
Absolutely. Now you can imagine how our guests in the 1880s and 1890s came up here to see the view.
The second largest turret, located on the hotel's east side, isn't open to the public, but we had the rare chance to see it up close. It features beautiful original woodwork, and guests would often come to see the scenic views and boat races during the hotel's early years. The Coronet Room, Crown Room, and Ocean Ballroom now stand as renewed icons of the Dell's legacy. Each space has been thoughtfully restored and revived to reflect its historic splendor and inspire generations.